Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another HMR's 4 replay. Spawn bottom right side as Blue English, we have a foreign name. On top left side as the Yellow Delhi Sultanate, we have LucifroNN. One of the YouTube comments of the more recent release of my videos mentioned that I should try to avoid fast forwarding and talk about more of the benefits of each civilization and how they may patch up with each other. So I will give that a little bit of a try. Of course, we all know the English. The English, they're known for their longbowmen, a powerful feudal age unit that gets +1 range and damage, which could be potentially counteracted a little bit with Delhi Sultanate's free research. Go for an early armory, which now allows him to get the pierce armor research much quicker, which will help resist against it. But there is not necessarily a timing with the Delhi Sultanate. They get free research, but there's no real timing attacks other than aging up, because all your research takes longer, even though it's free. While free, probably the best way to put it. Of course, so likely that would be the best way to go forward. Of course, the English can deploy out men-at-arms as early as the Dark Age, Vanguard men-at-arms, which could be effective. The Delhi Sultanate, this is the one of the factions I probably know the least amount. Probably can't deploy much in to help really hard counter men-at-arms. Nothing really much can. You have to really get your damage early. I suppose he needs to go for archers, get his pierce damage research as soon as possible, until put holes in the men-at-arms as best as he can. Gotta hit him hard, perhaps quick. Maybe go for early horsemen to patrol around. Early horsemen would be, of course, effective versus the early longbowmen. I say the word early as in timing. And we've got barracks here as well as the council hall going on up. Over here we do have the Tower of Victory. Tower of Victory, which is a very powerful landmark, giving all units that produce within Spirit Influence 20% attack speed, which is very good. So that also gives credence of if he starts deploying out a large number of man-at-arms, this will really help out the archers and put some holes those man-at-arms. I say early, actually that's probably the right term for that. Of course, the council hall can deploy out units a little bit quicker than opponents. We do got a single spearman here, so horsemen can't be used over on the longbowmen. Man-at-arms are quite expensive, so going for the spearman will help him out a little bit. Of course, horsemen are, of course, generally the proper counter to longbowmen. He can go for his own archers, but he does have the blacksmith up and going. But he's not such technology yet, so this is a little bit of an oversight. Without getting the technology, there's the technology. He's getting the pierce armor research now. That is a very, very necessary item. Villagers eyeing for the other wood. He can perhaps garrison. Let's see, he has 4 villagers there. He can perhaps garrison any military units inside town center, because it looks like the longbowmen trying to push this direction. Is there room there to traverse? I think there's room. Oh, there's room enough to put a palisade wall, but there may not be room to traverse right there. So that would be useful in protecting. Of course, the walls do not provide vision blockers. That's something that would be potentially nice. That if walls act as a vision blocker. Some games do that, like Grey Goo actually did that with their walls. They act as a vision blocker through and through. What the hell? What the hell? Why do the palings go out like that? Is there some sort of exploit of longbowmen that does that? Usually when the longbowman moves away from the area, the palings get snared as well. I think he used some sort of exploit there. Also seeing quite a bit of fire there. Will be slowly picked away. He does need a house for population space. He has 36 out of 40. What would cause that? Could a Q move cause the palings to be pulled out like that? And not to mention they are simply still there? I think that will snare stuff. And I think, right, palings usually disappear if you move away, so... Do not pierce armor. Oh no, that pierce armor is still taking the research. That tells you how long it takes. It takes 3 minutes, of course. And also coming for pierce damage, he's trying to stall off his own archers. The longbow don't want to advance to this region here because the town center is still there. It's still not entirely half bad idea to garrison town center. This house could be repaired up. I think putting out a village on the far side could be out of range of the longbowman. Let's find a couple villagers there. He may, no, he has to go way over here for the, well, another lumber camp there. In fact, that lumber is on traversable ground, I think. And this scout over here is providing some excellent vision. Longbowman trying to find a range. We've got a good number of horsemen here, but the actually exploited palings are still in the region. Maybe I should stop saying exploited because maybe it's not an exploit, but they were being placed away from the longbowmen, not at their feet. Ooh, good hits there. Longbowmen shoot far, and there is a massive choke point here, which that wall segment is covering. Maybe I'm for the far side of this hill. He has a good number of defensive archer here. And they are built in the radius. Actually, no. Let's see. Is the radius, is the influence a aura effect, or does it extend out through buildings? Oops, wrong button there. I just want to switch over to him and see what's going on. They have him selected there. It doesn't have any indication there other than the pluses, so it is in the radius of the archery range. It must be a influence that does extend out through the buildings. So he does have some souped up units here, which makes them incredibly strong. And there we go. Taking on the scout is great. That scout was providing a lot of, well, scouting. We only got a couple of, only about 3 spearmen here, which can be quickly picked off. No, there's 5 spearmen here, which can be picked off by these archers, allowing the horsemen to reign supreme. He does have a scout in this mix as well, so he has good vision as well as blue. Both sides see each other. And these palings will intercept these horses, or at least a horse. And see there, that horse got snared. Longbowmen are on front. Spearmen having trouble advancing forward. Archers are focusing down the spearmen now. Getting some good hits there. As all the spearmen goes down. There may be 1 spearman remaining. There's a fresh one being put on the field. And yeah, that's the only spearman that's remaining. He's being focused out as well. Do have the castle network nearby, I believe. Wait. There it is. Castle network does have very large radius there. Yes, I can take a look at that replay. I'll probably take a look at that one on Wednesday or Thursday when I cast Confused 1. We do have these guys all falling back. We're seeing quite a bit of damage now. Scouts falling them back as well. And now we do have a 6 site being captured on up. You can also always send me the replay or link to it through DMs as well, if you would like. I am somewhat responsive when going through DMs on Twitch, or of course through Gmail. Notice that the boar has been stabbed to death, and we got the 8 villagers collecting up some nice, delicious pig. The horseman does go down. We got this scholar moving around. Thanks, I'll take a look at my Steam a little bit later, probably after the stream. We do have now the deer now being hunted over here. Over here we do have this sacred site being captured by a spearman. Horsemen push away forward. We've got this archer here receiving some damage now. Longbowmen starting pushing forward. We've got a good number of archers here. A handful of horsemen. This horseman over here trying to intercept this single spearman. Decapture the secret site there, but that allows him to be very vulnerable to these archers. Though he should not have sent all those horsemen there. That was a huge blunder. The archers could get inside the town center in order to get it firing and allow his villagers to evacuate and still collect resources. I believe he should have done that. Does this garrison a handful of those villagers inside the town center? Right now, the pierce damage research is finally being complete for the Delhi Sultanate. We do not have the horsemen patrolling around. We've got these two spearmen advancing forward, as well as got these archers engaging, getting some good damage there onto these horsemen now. Horsemen charging forward, trying to overrun these villagers. The villagers even firing some arrows as well. They do have some damage, and in fact, they can apply it at our range, makes them reasonably useful at defending against other forces. Archers and horsemen back here. Horsemen distracting those longbowmen does give yellow a pretty good amount of breathing room here. There's still a handful of, actually no, there's no spearmen here, so the horsemen maybe it'll collapse on in. They're currently running away from a handful of spearmen, but right now the longbowmen are very exposed. These horsemen do see a bit of fire there. Of course, at the 1 pierce armor, we've got the +1 pierce damage and pierce armor for the English as well. Now got melee damage being pulled out by yellow, and now this longbowman gets overran. Critics there on these longbowmen there. Archers focus on the spearmen, very, very good. Horsemen trying to get some good hits there on these longbowmen. And now got the castle network active. And longbowmen are instead of stepping away. Scholar receiving some hits. One sacred site still captured up by yellow. The horseman being whittled away. And the spearman does get a good stab there. All the horsemen are down. We do have 22 archers here versus 15 longbowmen. The longbowmen do have inherent benefits, but the archers do have increased attack speed thanks to Tower of Victory, which is very important. So overall, if they get in range, they can do some good work. It's a matter of whether or not they can get into range. The archer's move speed is 1.25 tiles. The longbowmen also have the slower 1.12 movement speed. Boar certainly claimed over here, very, very good. Boar is one of those things that's somewhat hard to claim, but also gives you a lot of food. You collect it faster. And it has, what, 1,000 food onto it? Or is it 2,000 food? Here is a living boar. 2,000 food. He also has an attack move. Archers facing a bit of fire there. Spearman does go down there, allowing a couple of horsemen to advance on forward. Couple defensive spearmen here. Both players in feudal age. Both players are not time for castles just yet, but yellow has a good reserve. Blue does not have a good reserve of resources. He's going for some man-at-arms now, which will help him hold the front line as well as counter-attack against these archers. Longbowman still trying to stutter a step away. He probably stayed in Longbowman a little bit too long, but going for a man-at-arms force of a handful of spearmen would probably be a good item. Blue just may want to be on the defense for a bit of time. Early man-at-arms have 4 pierce armor. Archers currently have 6 damage, so they'll do 2 damage per arrow. Now second site is being decaptured. Best let it get decaptured at this point in time. We've got a pair of mills being pulled on the field. And all the sacred sites have been claimed by yellow, but this will change shortly. Either way, that does provide yellow a nice little gold bump. Got a couple man-at-arms pushing forward with these longbowmen. And Scholar does find himself in an exotic doggo. The dog demands ped pats, and the Scholars refusing to give him. Man-at-arms trying to decapture this point as well. Horsemen and archers going to overrun him. There's actually deer right next to us, and berries as well. He's collecting both the deer and the berries. Very, very nice. And does take out that man-at-arms now. Does keep that secret side up and going. We got a good number of man-at-arms on field. 9 and 23 versus 15 and 32 and 6 scholars. That's a little bit overkill on scholars, but then again, essentially so the garrison scholars increases research speed among other things. Man-at-arms push way forward. Long archers gain some good damage there. Started stepping away the man-at-arms. Horsemen going straight for those longbowmen. The man-at-arms perhaps just eye for these archers to keep them back. Longbowmen getting overran. Didn't get any spearmen in the mix. He should have gotten a mix of spearmen and man-at-arms. Now longbowmen are getting overran. Man-at-arms do perform quite well versus a horseman, but the problem is spearmen are of course much more cost-effective and a good counter, and have higher DPS versus horsemen than man-at-arms. But these man-at-arms chasing these horsemen are actually holding back these archers, allowing the longbowmen more time to fight and get away. This, however, is still garrisoned for quite a bit of forces the entire time. I wonder if there's some spearmen or infantry inside the garrison rather than just, nope, there's villagers. At this point in time, with amount of times, he may want to cool off on the attack, honestly. He could keep some forces at garrison inside just for defense. Got an outpost here as well. It's primarily more meant for vision, likely. There's not enough garrison slots for this outpost. Blue is eyeing for the counterattack once again, but he is not really ready for this. And he's fighting in through a tower, which is not good. And while these man-at-arms are getting ripped apart, there's just too many archers here. Man-at-arms, of course, good against archers, but when there's that many, they get picked off. Spearman taking out this wounded monk, who's already eaten quite a bit by the wolves. He does get inside the tower now, so he does save the monk. Or what's it called? Or whatever it's called. Scholar, that's what it was. Man-at-arms will get overwhelmed. He does take out that horseman before going on down. And now we do got the village fortresses, allowing his keep to act as town centers, which give him good war villager production if he needs to. Siege engineer, improving battle rams. It looks like he just queued a bunch of stuff because they're all free. Queue them up. So you have to micro it. All 6 sites has been captured now. Yellow has gotten to his castle age as well, so now we start seeing some rush being picked up. Got some laser people on the field. Spearman trying to charge him forward as well. Getting some good damage there. Now the archers are advancing forward. A couple lancers here. The horseman is starting to charge on forward. Of course, there's a couple villagers here. With the castle network as well, he needs to get inside the tower. He's going to lose them likely. One moment to find a good angle here. However, there's a couple lancers pushed forward. Did lose one of the villagers. Tower still provides some good fire support there. Lancers at 5 pierce armor. Longbows do have 7 damage. Still no castle age for blue. He's pretty far from it. Needs twice the amount of gold and food. Couple spearmen needs to start hitting these lancers. His longbow force starting to dwindle down. Getting some more spearmen here. More spearmen here. More longbowmen, but blue does back up the game as well. Just losing too much. This is Adam Grade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.